Welcome everybody to Can I Live podcast, episode 3 with Nat and Reg. I hope everybody listened to episode 2. It was about commitment. But now for episode 3, we're about to switch it up a little bit.
I want to definitely say thank you for all the feedback we've been getting. It's real dope that you guys definitely found our questions entertaining, our responses and all that. I think that's real dope. So definitely thank you guys out there. And for the rest of you guys that feel like, we got some questions we still haven't answered, we're going to get to it on this episode. We're going to address it.
So the first question here that we have is too many gender reveals and not enough marriages and marriage proposals.
Yeah, it's a lot. And I feel like in today's society, that's what you're seeing. Like, you go on social media, you've seen a bunch of gender reveals. And it's like, for creativity, A+. They getting an E forever. That shit is amazing, I've been seeing, right? But it's like, come on. Like, I'm seeing too much of the gender reveals, but where's the men going down on one knee during the gender reveal? If you have everyone there, gender reveal, everyone's hyped right there. Take a knee. Bring out the ring. You know what I'm saying? I think that would be something like every dude should really like. Everyone is there already. Like, you just marry the girl you're having a child with. Like, everyone's look nice. Everyone's happy. It's like a glorious moment. And shout out to the dudes that actually are proposing at the gender reveal. I think that's dope. Creative and everything. And everyone's there to celebrate. Why not? But there's way too many gender reveals out there. And not enough women being carted off, getting married. And I feel like that's what society would show people, like, getting married is not such a big thing. And I feel like celebrities definitely play a big role in that because they just diminish the value in marriage.
Well, yeah, and they're always getting divorced all the time.
Right.
It's almost like the easiest thing. It's almost like a breakup they treat it, when it's really crazy because it's a whole divorce that you're going through, and then you're going to jump into another relationship and then possibly get another divorce. Like, that's insane to me.
If people feel like celebrities don't influence everyday people, I feel like they do greatly by fashion, music, everything. Everything's about influence, and I feel like that was one of the biggest things within the last 10 years that you've seen. Like, they really diminish marriage. Like, it's not that big. Well, it's a commitment you're making with someone, just like the episode 2. If you're really into someone, you should really be into them in marriage. Marriage is a step. It's a sacrament in religions like Catholic. So it's like, it's a huge thing. Why should it be diminished? Those words of I'll marry you till death do us part, that's sacred. Those 2 words, like, people saying they mean it. You don't see that nowadays. It's so diluted. Like, it's arguing and I ain't feeling no more. Yeah, it's just not what it is. Yeah, we just had to go our separate ways. But what happened to death do us part?
What about those people though that they have a gender reveal with somebody, but they just don't feel like they want to marry that person? Some people are together for not that much time, and they don't know yet if they want to marry that person.
And here's my problem with that. I feel you if you don't know if you want to marry this person, but you did know you wanted to sleep with them, right? You did know that you wanted to have intercourse. So I understand things happen. That's how life goes, or how the cookie crumble. But imagine how you grew up. If you grew up in a household with a single parent and you seen your parents struggle, why would you want that for your kid where you're co-parenting? Even though if you don't have a happy situation, the child should always come first in that. So try to keep a complete home and not become a statistic in today's day and age. And I feel like that's definitely what's been happening.
No, I definitely agree with that as well. We definitely see a lot of households where it's just a lot of baby mamas and baby fathers, and then a lot of co-parenting. And I don't really. I mean, for me personally, I don't like that for myself. Like, I wouldn't want. Like, let's say you and me, Reg, we end up having a kid, and then we don't ever get married, and you're just my baby father, and then we break up, and that's my baby daddy. For me personally, it's not what I would want. I mean, of course, things happen. That's the thing. That's life. Things do happen. You may have thought you wanted to be with that person, and then it just turns out that maybe, okay, this person is just not for me, but that is the father of my children or the mother of my child.
Then that means in today's day and age, words don't mean nothing then.
I mean,
So it's like, come on, if you taking a vow to someone, you really saying this is the person, especially if you bring them in a church, you're bringing them before God and telling them like, this is the woman I want to spend the rest of my life with. How could you go behind those words and say not? I feel as if you don't truly know someone until actual things happen. In my perspective, it takes a lifetime to actually know someone. You could say you know someone 10 years, and tomorrow they do something that made you look at them wild crazy. Like I did not expect this from you. Like it happens every day. So in my opinion, it takes a lifetime to know someone. So that's how people that's in like 20-year marriages and they just continue to grow every time because you don't truly know someone. It takes a lifetime to really know someone. So you just have to really before you take that step into marriage, see if you really know someone. If you know that your partner, that other individual. And I feel like people don't take that time to really get to know each other. Everyone just want to see what they have in common. If they have the same likes, similar, all right, cool, we together now, cool. And they jump into something real serious. But when it's like, all right, it's time to build, trying to like move out, move from this place, upgrade, and boom, you clash heads because y'all didn't really get to really know each other. It takes a lifetime to know each other. So you really have to know what you're doing.
That kind of boils into the next question, actually, that somebody asks. Can you be in a relationship with a chick or a guy that has a kid and wonder if they're messing with the ex's parents?
See, that would be very paranoid if I was in any type of situation like that. Because it's like, I feel like you would have to reach a level of maturity where you don't have that insecurity like, yo, what is she doing? Where is she at? Is she still talking to her baby father? Because if you with someone that has a child, obviously they're going to have to co-parent with that other individual. Now, it's up to you to be more mature and be like, okay, cool, this is the best for the child. But if you have reasonable doubt, like my shorty, my significant other is not really trustworthy, you're going to have problems, not from the jump, but before that, it's going to be a problem all the way through.
But technically, it is also up to the actual person that you're with to assure you that nothing is going on. That all kind of lies in that. But of course, it kind of is to each its own because there are some people that honestly, they just genuinely can't do it. Like me, I cannot be with somebody who has a baby mama. That's just for me personally. Like I could not do that because for me personally, I would not feel comfortable regardless of how much assurance you give me. I probably would not. Maybe I need some type of growth in my life. I don't know what it is, but for me, I wouldn't be able to. It depends on the person. Then there are those people that they can do it because they don't mind. It doesn't bother them because they know what they got at the end of the day.
I think it takes the other individual, the one with the kid, making their partner comfortable. You gotta make them comfortable into a situation because it's not just them that's involved. It's a whole group of adults or people that's trying to act like adults, trying to raise a child and be there for them the right best way they can at that moment. If they don't make it comfortable for you, if you have insecurities, that's just gonna heighten those insecurities, and that's where the problems are gonna start. And eventually, it hurts the kid because the kid's like, the kid is gonna grow up knowing this person, and now they're not no longer in their life, and it's like, so I'm gonna just keep going through different people. It's just not a good look for kid growing up. A kid want to be around stability, and I feel like that's the way it should be.
I mean, shout out to everybody that can handle that type of situation and can be comfortable being with a woman who has a baby father or maybe even more than one baby father, or shout out to the men that can handle, it just vice versa. Honestly, it's to each his own. How about you, Raj? Like, would you feel comfortable being in that type of situation? Would you be able to be with a female if you knew that she had kids and a baby father?
I feel like that comes with a lot of commitment because they're going to want something stable because there's a child involved. There's feelings involved with that child, and they looking for something stable. I think I have not reached that maturity level yet to be like, okay, cool, you can go do this and that and be a family with, your ex and things. I haven't reached that maturity as of right now. So I don't think I could be able to do it, but definitely shout out to the men, to the women out there that can do that, has reached that maturity, that can go out there and be in a relationship with someone else, keep it cordial with their ex, and still find that love that they truly deserve. I think that's dope.
Yeah, and in that situation, you got to also be mindful that you being with somebody who has a baby father, baby mama, and their kids, you now are going to be looked at as a parental figure in that child's life. If you don't have any children of your own, you're basically about to be a parent, because when you are with somebody, whether you're married to them or you're dating them, you're basically also with their children, because that parent, their children is an extension of them. So they now are part of your life completely. And if you can't handle being a parental figure in that child's life, it's not going to work out either. So that's how I see it.
No, you're right. I definitely agree with you on that. 100%. Facts.
The next question following that is, can you continue being with a person if your family doesn't like them?
That's a tough one right there. I feel like if you with someone that your family don't like, right? Eventually, it's just gonna get worse and worse. It's gonna be to a point that are you gonna choose the significant other you're with versus your family, or are you gonna try to mend it and say this is the person I chose? You have to respect it. It has to come to that where you're either gonna respect your decision and not continue to disrespect your relationship, because disrespecting your relationship is also disrespecting you. If you of age, you make your own decisions. You're entitled to them. They should definitely respect exactly what you're doing, who you chose to lay with, who you chose to be with, and that even if it takes some time, you could honor that. But the disrespect and for them not liking them, that shouldn't happen. I just think that's just very immature. But these are things that happen all the time. So
yeah, I mean, I feel like you can continue to be with a person that your family doesn't like. Of course, it depends on what those reasons are, because in some circumstances, maybe your family sees maybe you're going through a lot with that person and your family is really trying to help you through it. Maybe in certain circumstances, it's okay to listen to your family. But for the most part, I feel like nobody should dictate who you date and who you like and who you fall in love with. At the end of the day, you fall in love with who you fall in love with.
That's a fact.
And you decide who you want to be with that person, and they're not doing anything harmful to you or anything abusive to you, then I mean, I feel like you just have to learn to try to mend it between the two, as long as the person that you're with is willing and ready to make sure to do their best and not be, because sometimes the person that you're with, sometimes they'll think, oh, well, I don't really need to fix nothing with your family. If your family doesn't like me, then so be it. But it's not like that. If they know that you're close to your family, then they should want to mend things with your family. They should want to make you happy, because if that's what's going to make you happy, then that's it. They're supposed to just do that. And then vice versa, your family has to sometimes understand, because some families can be a little overbearing and they just feel like they're always right. And that's not really fair. So I don't feel like just because your family doesn't like your significant other that you shouldn't be with them. I feel like you just have to take it per circumstance. Every circumstance is a little different.
So what if it comes to the point where an ultimatum comes and the family goes, okay, we can't continue to support you if this is the decision you're gonna make, because clearly we told you how we feel and we over here. So if you want to be over there on the other side, cool, but just know you're losing your family over this. How would you feel about that if people go through some situations like that?
Well, that honestly depends on the relationship. For me personally, as my family, if you guys love me that deeply, why would you want me out of your life based upon somebody that I'm with, though? Is the unconditional love really there? That you're just willing to let me go and willing to not have me in your life? To me, that's ridiculous. There are circumstances, and I've known them through life, where people really do that, where sometimes you'll date somebody that maybe was not the race that your family wanted you to date, or maybe just physically not the person they wanted you to date. Maybe religious reasons, they don't like it. It depends on you. If you are willing to forget about your family and they really want to let you go, that's just your decision. Every circumstance is different. Me personally, I'm very fortunate to have a family that would not do that to me. Everybody's situation is just a little different, honestly. But I think that's kind of ridiculous that a family would just let you go based upon the person you're with. If the person maybe seemed abusive and they're trying to kind of give you that ultimatum just to kind of help push you out of that relationship, I guess I understand why they're saying it, but I don't know. I think that's wrong that you're just willing to let go of your family member just because of somebody that they're dating.
Honestly, it should just never come to that. Because with the family you have, they shouldn't split it based on the person you're currently with. But these things do happen. So I feel like eventually you would have to mend it. It will take some time, but the two families have to come together, or the two individuals that really have the problem has to come together, fix it, and for your own happiness. Your family at the end of the day want to just see you happy, right? So it should be that. I want to be happy. This is the person that makes me happy. Respect it.
So what happens in the situation where your significant other was the one that disrespected somebody in your family, and then your family just wants no parts of that person anymore in your life?
Now, if that happens, then you in a SOL situation, because once disrespect happen on two parties, some people be like, "Yo, I tried. That's it. I ain't doing it." At that point, you can continue to try what you should do, but...
All right, so then the next question was, if a woman is the breadwinner by a mile, she tends to disrespect her man any kind of way. What do you feel about that?
I feel like that's a fact. That's true. There's women out there that if they the breadwinner by a whole mile, what is a man to her? She's kind of in that aspect of, okay, I'm the one bringing in the bread. You can't talk to me no kind of way at all. You coming home late, that's a dub. Nope. You're supposed to be here under the kid. That little job you got, nothing to come compared to what I'm bringing to the table. So there's women out there that they definitely do this. They the breadwinner, so they kind of talk to you any kind of way. And the men, they in a situation where they're gonna have to just take it. Why? Because they're comfortable. She got him comfortable in a situation like, yeah, your feet is kicked up. You got all the channels on the cable. You got your Xbox. You got everything good, and he's comfortable. He likes the lifestyle. So in order to continue with the lifestyle, what he's gonna do? He's gonna take it.
Yeah, but a man shouldn't really have to take it just because she's making the bread. That's horrible. I feel like just because they're making the bread, that doesn't mean a man should kind of just shut up. That's wrong, because he's still a human being. He's still 50-50 in a relationship with you. And yes, you do make more money, but there are many relationships where it's the man that's bringing the bacon home, and you would not want your man to control your life and treat you like that. That's wrong. So the same way that a woman would not want their man to disrespect them just because the man is making the money and paying the bills and doing all this and that, the woman shouldn't really do that regardless. Like, we want equal rights, we want equal pay, we want equal this, we want equal that, but then we want to be the ones to disrespect the man. That's wrong. Just because we're making more money than you. We wouldn't want you to do that to us.
Yeah, but for a long history of time, how long has men been doing that? So women that's come into power, being a breadwinner, they tend to, exert their power and be like, okay, cool, you're not going to do certain things around me. You're not going to do certain things around the kids. All right, if you don't like it, you can dip. This lifestyle I created for you, this is what you fell in love with, and I know you're gonna take it. So she kind of bring out the dog in him. He's not that same guy no more. It's almost like he's not even a man if she start doing that.
Yeah, but it's also the type of woman that you got too.
That's true.
Every woman is different. There are women who make a lot of bread and they take care of the home, but they will not disrespect you. It honestly depends on the woman you chose. Then you should have chose a better woman. You should have chose a more humble woman. That's kind of your problem, that you just chose that type of woman. It's either you gonna deal with it or you're gonna dip and you find somebody that will treat you with more respect. The same way that you're giving her respect, you deserve respect too.
He ain't gonna dip. Look, come on now. He's up there comfortable. His feet kicked up. He got everything good going on. He's just gonna take it. Eventually, it's gonna affect the relationship, but I don't think the woman's gonna see it like that. She gonna just think like, probably he's just good. I got him in control. We going out every weekend, and that's what it is. But truly that situation is not healthy, especially on the man's part, because now that he's not really the breadwinner, you gotta have a woman has to make a man feel like a man. That's a fact. He just cannot just be a man. You gotta make him feel like a man too. Like that's a man. That's daddy. He a man. He holding shit down.
Really? That's daddy?
That's a fact.
All right. So the next question: would you want your kids to struggle the way you did for them to understand the value of money and humble of life?
Well, for me, it might sound weird, but I kind of would want to do that. Reason being, I want my kids to know the value of money, the value of hard work, and the value of being self-reliant, sufficient, and just being self-aware of everything. And I feel like I learned that by seeing my parents struggle and seeing my family struggle until they definitely put in the hard work and show that if you stay focused and you apply yourself, that you will achieve everything you're going to do. So I think I would want my kids, not for the whole life, but growing up.
I was about to say.
Make them feel like, all right, cool. What is this? What is the meaning of life? And then later on in their life, you can have fun at any time. But growing up, those incredible years when they're young, growing up and they soak up all that information, I want my kids to know, like, why is things the way they are? What is the real world?
Well, I wouldn't say I want my child to necessarily struggle the way I did, because eventually I'm gonna want my kids raised a little differently than the way that I was raised. I mean, I was just raised, in Flatbush in an apartment, the same apartment that I've lived all my life, and I don't know. I mean, I don't want my kids really being raised in that type of environment. I would want their environment to be a little different.
Yeah, but
of course, the things that my parents.
World,
no, yeah. I mean, I did see the ugliness of the world. Yeah, but I don't really want. I guess in a sense, I don't want to say that I'm sheltering my future children, but I would want to shelter them to an extent. But I would still find a way to teach them values and teach them how to be humble and teach them things. But I wouldn't necessarily say that I want them to struggle the way that I did.
When I was growing up and I was little, I was living on Ocean Ave, Brooklyn, New York. And I actually, when I was growing up, cops raided the building and arrested drug dealers that was in the building. So from that early age, I was exposed to that. I seen it and I was just like, wow, like, why is this happening? Why did they take them? And when my parents told us they were doing illegal things, and this is the reason why the cops took them, I understood. And I was just like, they was doing something wrong, and they got punished for it and got taken away from their kids and their family.
Hold on. So you want your children to see drug dealers coming out of a building being arrested, Reginald?
Not
be for real right now. But see, that's what I mean. I wouldn't want them to see everything that I seen growing up, because I seen some things that they shouldn't. I don't feel like I want my children to see in their life. I would not want that. And in your opinion then, Reginald, in that circumstance, you see how you say that you've seen things like that. Would you really say that it helped you growing up, though?
I think it did. It showed me, like, this world is not as safe as my parents wanted me to see. It's actually a very ugly, dirty world out there. And if you're not careful, you could lose yourself.
Yeah, so but there's a way that a parent can teach you that as well.
You could teach a kid that. I truly believe that. But in my opinion, got to be hands-on. Got to be hands-on. They got to see it. Because some people only can learn if they literally see something and they feel it. So you got to feel it. I would want my kids to see a situation and assess it. There's only so far you can. It's just like going to the zoo. You can look at zoo animals on the computer all day until you actually go to the zoo and you petting the cows, you petting the pigs and all that. You see how real it is.
But don't you want better for your children?
I do, but I want the real too.
No, I understand that you want the real for them, but you don't want them to really necessarily go through the things you went through, though, Reginald. Because the things that we may have seen growing up, you don't know what that's going to do possibly to your child. Just because it didn't turn you any type of way growing up or in the future, you don't know what's going to happen to your child if they experience certain things.
That's true, too. I agree with that. But also someone being sheltered, too. They might have a negative experience to that as well.
I agree. I mean, I wouldn't say necessarily fully shelter them or anything like that, but I don't know. For me, I would want still better for my children. I just feel like it all goes down to your home, the way that you raise your children, what you teach them, the values, things that you make them do. Like there are parents that won't even make their children do any type of chores. You know what I mean? Like, what is that teaching them? That's teaching them to never know how to do anything for themselves. There's just little things, like just things as they grow. You teach them these things. You talk to them. You have personal relationships with your children. There are parents that don't have personal relationships with their kids, and kids don't have anybody to turn to, and that's a problem. Because if they don't have anybody to turn to, then, anything could happen to them.
I agree. I agree to a point.
And if you agree to a point, then what point is that exactly, Raj?
To a point, I feel like is, let's say my kid is hungry, right? I would want to sit them down in front of me and tell them, you see that hunger you have in your stomach, that you're hungry and it's growling? There's people outside every day right now with that same hunger pain. And imagine having that same pain you have in your stomach for weeks on end. What if you have that pain and it just can't go away? Because you don't have the funds to do that. But why they don't have the funds, Daddy? Because things in life took that person to different courses, and as of right now, they're not able to get on their feet. But you could avoid situations like that by best staying focused and applying yourself as hard as you can, so you could limit that ever happening to you. Things like that. Sitting a little kid down and let them know something real like that. I feel like that's very crucial in a kid's growing.
I mean, I guess I get what you're saying to an extent, though. I wouldn't want my children to be spoiled. That's for damn sure, because I see a lot of kids these days. They get a little too spoiled, and too spoiled to the point where they start getting wild disrespectful to their parent. It's like they don't know no type of respect, and then they just always expect something, which is crazy. What do you feel about discipline?
Discipline was definitely in my upbringing. I got beat a lot, but I learned from those beatings that I did get, and I feel like discipline is very important. Now, I feel like if you're gonna discipline your kids now, you got to incorporate also talking to them. So if you beat them after, I would want to have a conversation with why they got beat, why did they did the things they did, and what was wrong, and how could they improve. I feel like talking to them as well as disciplining them will go a long way.
Okay, so that was some of the questions that we had got for this podcast episode. Please let us know any more questions, any things that we can talk about, any opinions you want to hear. Please let us know. Please make sure to subscribe and like on YouTube, Can I Live Podcast, and to listen to us on SoundCloud. Please, please, please share as well. So subscribe, like, and share.
We out.
Bye.